Good evening, everybody. Today is October 28th, and this is Research Roadshow. Today's episode of News Others Miss, we're going to cover the trial of Mr. Eugene Yu, and hopefully one of the people that testified during the trial will call up the name Lionel Nee. Mr. Yu's partner, Lionel Nee, is a very interesting character indeed. But for right now, I'm just going to go march through three of Harry's most recent articles and offer my little slant on the pertinent topics within his articles. Okay, here we have the Judge Lamelli. Judge George Lamelli releases Konnech CEO without bond. So let's pull that one up. Now, again, for those who are tuning in for the first time, Mr. Yu was the CEO until a few days ago of Konnech Voting Solutions based in Michigan, but with offices in Los Angeles and New Jersey, and they operate in over 800 counties throughout the United States. I forgot to check. I said the other day I was going to check and see if they were active in Fulton County or DeKalb County, Georgia. I did not do that. I'll get to that sometime early next week. Anyway, let's go through this article. It's very interesting that at one point, Mr. Yu had a bond of $1 million, and then the judge, Lomelli, let him go without the bond. Here's a snapshot of it. Let me see if I can increase the size. All right, declaration report of arrest warrant made under 2015.5 CCP with attachments filed October 13, 2022. Okay, you can see that the arrest warrant in the amount of no bail order of Judge George Gonzalez Lomelli issued on the 13th. So he apparently, Mr. Yu is wearing an ankle bracelet, and so he's free to go around Los Angeles County until his hearing on the 17th of November. And by the way, if any of our subscribers live in Southern California, or even if you live in Northern California or Arizona, please get in contact with me or one of the other members to see about the charrette that's going to take place approximately from 16th to the 18th of November in conjunction with this trial. We have to make ourselves heard. We have to have a physical presence there at the courthouse for this trial. This is, according to Harry the Greek, this is the most important trial of the past 40 years in the United States. Okay, so let's go to the rest of the article. All right. Again, Mr. George Gascon, who is the Los Angeles DA, he grew up in Cuba, and he came to the U.S. around 14 years old, and he lived the American dream. He was in law enforcement for 38 years, and he went to night school to get his law degree. It seems like the ideal, what a lot of Americans did when they came to the United States to make themselves a name for themselves, make a career for themselves, and live a better life. But Mr. Gascon, right now, what we're going to see is on the payroll of Mr. George Soros, and he's married to a top figure in the Los Angeles media. Let's see. How come it's not sharing screen? Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. Chrome tab. Oh, I wanted to point this out. A few days ago, no, this morning, early morning, I looked for, I don't know if you can see this on the screen. I went to search for Mr. Lionel Nee. I entered this exact search string, and there were 10 results here. Not many, but it did come up with 10. Right now, there are 5 results, which means someone at Google is diminishing or tweaking the algorithms so that those documents, the websites that contain those 3 terms no longer appear as frequently as they used to. So there is some partial evidence to me. Well, let me try LJ Solutions. LJ Connections is the original name of Konnech Voting Solutions. LJ stands for Lionel Jianwei. 1. This morning there were 4. There were 4 results for Eugene Yu, Konnech, LJ Connections. Now we're down to 1. This is a story that they want to go away, but we're not going to let it. The Ospreys will not let this story go away. Okay, let's go back to Harry's website. Okay, why is Mr. Lionel Nee so important? Everyone, well, not everyone, but the few people in the alternative press that are talking about Mr. Yu are not mentioning the name Lionel Nee. His birth name was Ni Mingshuan. Let's go back to Harry's website and see what's the deal there. Well, it's not giving me the option. Okay. Share screen. No, I just shared that. Sorry about that. I got to underline how good it was for Harry to be able to obtain. He's literally have people get and drive 2 or 3 hours to the courthouse to the courts to obtain information that should have been available online to U.S. Taxpayers. Okay. That's the way things work, are supposed to work. He said Harry told me it's ever difficult to get a case. The judge, the name of the officer, the bailiff, you can't find anything. But you use. All right, let's go back up here. All right, let's walk through this website, Harry's latest blog. So where is the Chinese spy, Konnech CEO Jianwei, Eugene Wei, and who is wearing his ankle bracelet? Is it the real Eugene Yu or you too? I like that. The real Yu will appear for his November 17th plea hearing without a mask and will talk. His double will be wearing a mask and will be mute. So what Harry's saying there is there's a strong chance that the person that walks into the courtroom on the 17th might not be the actual physical person of Jianwei Yu. It could be a double, a sosia. And he will not speak because otherwise, if he spoke during the trial, someone intelligent might be able to. And I think that we will be able, as a news agency, a news outlet, a research roadshow, will be able to record in at least audio during the trial. If we are allowed to record, then we can take an existing tape of Jianwei, the real Jianwei Yu, and compare his voice with that of the person speaking at the trial. So that's why Harry guesses that if the person on trial doesn't say anything, there's a very good chance that it's not really Jianwei Yu. This is really James Bond type stuff here, people, because this is a major deal. There's all these connections back to the biological community, such as those are the laboratories that I used to frequent up in Boston. By the way, why is there no official court record of the Yu criminal embezzlement case? That's another red flag, including 2 indictments, one dated October 6th, according to Yu's attorney, Mark Krieger. The other is dated October 13th. According to another Yu attorney, Michael McCarthy, is the third one about to be introduced soon? And what about the fraudulent FBI alibi affidavit filed on October 6th? That's the first flag that I pointed out during episode 2, is that the FBI had already provided the FBI taking down either through a 302 or some other method, had interviewed someone who was able to provide an alibi for Mr. Yu in the case of the embezzlement. Anyway, a fraudulent FBI agent from Texas signed a statement under oath that Konnech sent none of the LA election data to China. Is he correct? He is if he left out this part. The LA data was transferred from one server to another, making its way to Michigan State University in East Lansing, then to China. So a lot of our coverage the next few days will center around Michigan State University. Remember, from our third episode, I think, we showed that Konnech, when they made the transition from LJ Connections to Konnech, they entered a new building there in Lansing. It's called the Innovation Center, the Michigan State Innovation Center, something like that. The other new resident, the second resident in the building, was Michigan State University Foundation. So over the next couple of days, we're going to look at all the connections between the foundation, Michigan State professors, especially biology professors, and the Konnech solutions. Let's go back to the second to last article written by Harry. All right. Here we have so a couple of people, 2 people from Northeast Ohio called me yesterday and asked, what's the connection to Ukraine? Okay, we'll get there. The Konnech servers are in Wuhan. Remember, the great Chris Hunter always said, IP traffic doesn't lie, right? Chris Fechner, Australia's voting machine system czar. And the voting machines industry is a very, very small, tight-knit group. Everybody knows everybody. And pretty much the same hardware or whatever type of machine is being marketed, there's usually a small daughter board that's always present on every one. And I'll let you guess who's the primary architect of that motherboard. All right. The coding resources were based in Wuhan, China. Konnech servers used in the US and Australia are in Wuhan, China. Servers store, receive, and send voting machine systems data. They also tabulate votes. According to Australia's authorities, Chris Fechner, the CEO of IT in Queensland in charge of voting machines compliance, and there's the article. Remember, I have to underline the fact that every single one of Harry's links is to an official government website, either US government, Australian government, UK government, or to a state or provincial government's website, or to major NGOs like the World Health Organization. Every single link that he provides, there's no conjecture. Fiona Simpson, Member of Parliament and Minister of Integrity in Government. I like that. I wish we had a Minister of Integrity in Government. Where in Wuhan? The US Embassy. However, it remains closed to the public because of COVID-19. Subsidiaries of Wuhan Konnech are the Wuhan Konnech Michigan State University and Wuhan Konnech Australia and Wuhan Konnech East Lansing, Michigan. And you can check for yourselves all three of these links. Doesn't it seem odd to anyone that we have Chinese people who grew up in mainland China and came over here at a fairly advanced age to start voting machines companies right around 1998, towards the end of Bill Clinton's tenure. And we had, at the same time, we had a massive push in most counties in the United States. There was a huge push between 96 and 2000 to convert to a electronic format, to get rid of those punch cards and go all electronic. I don't think it's a coincidence. All right, Michigan State University, International Studies and Programs. Now, I'm all for, I have a long connection with universities in both countries, in Italy as well as the United States. And I'm the first one to promote the idea of letting non-US citizens come here to study. I have absolutely no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is that the programs at many universities, especially the Ivy League and land-grant colleges, are cherry picking these students from among a population which have known ties to military organizations in their home country or intelligence organizations in their home country. You won't find too many, Italian or French or Brazilian or Chinese students in these universities that are not very well connected, or at least their fathers or uncles are very well connected at the top levels of the military and intelligence. Michigan State University has a long history of partnering with Chinese higher education, research, and other institutions. Michigan State University is very intentional when it comes to forming international partnerships, as the most productive collaborations come from partners with shared values and compatible academic disciplines. Wuhan. The College of Communication, Arts, and Sciences at MSU partners with several Chinese institutions, including the School of Journalism and Communication at Wuhan University. This partnership includes a credit transfer agreement that graduate students from partnering institutions who are admitted to strategic communication program at MSU may transfer up to 9 credits taken at their home university. Name and contact information of 29 other suspected Chinese spies are listed in their MSU profiles. There has never been an independent audit verifying that Konnech voting machine systems are accurate. No such compliance regulations exist. I want to underline this. In every single industry, I worked in the automotive and in the aerospace industry, there are regulations up the yazoo. The best example is the Euro 6 requirements for new manufactured European cars. Dave is in the chat, and Dave knows that those requirements are very hard to meet, and in the long run, they really don't improve the environment that much. Why is it that we have in the voting machines industry, it's not regulated? The same standards don't apply. I for one find that kind of odd. Details are in this story. News others miss. Feds verify voting machines are not required to be accurate. You think that's unbelievable? Just ask the local Board of Elections for a copy of Konnech's independent audit. Please post a link to the comments below. Okay. If election officials can find one. I love Harry's sense of humor. All right, let's go to the last article that he wrote, and then I'm going to cut it off for tonight. Okay, now we're going to go back to the FBI. This is the part that really hit me hard when Harry came out this morning with this article. TrueTheVote.org did the yeoman's work in tracking down Konnech voting solutions as one of the major culprits in this whole business of the alleged voting scandal, elections fraud in the United States in 2020. True the Vote was out there pounding the pavement every day for a year and a half, if not more. And now True the Vote is getting sued. I don't know if it's is it a financial or is it a criminal? Okay, Konnech Incorporated versus True the Vote Incorporated, assigned to Judge Kenneth M. Hoyt. Konnech is demanding $1 million in damages. Cause this is essentially none of the above. The hearing was held on yesterday, on the 27th. Contempt hearing set for the 31st. That's 3 days now. At 9 a.m. in courtroom 11A for Judge Kenneth M. Hoyt. Let's up. Okay, for those of you fellows at home, we have to start asking elected officials in every county how things should work. Because if it's up to uh, just a few dedicated people going to the offices of the various find out what actually transpired during the 3 weeks of November 2020, we're not going to get far. We have to demand what we as taxpayers are entitled to, constitutionally entitled to. We can't have these FOIAs coming back with 60 redacted sections. We can't have the people who do find good information, accurate, actionable information, getting sued because they did a good job. This is totally unacceptable, and this is part of the reason that that we're all going to Los Angeles on the 17th to stand in front of it, to make a presence in the courtroom and let people know that they can't just it's not going to be just business as usual this time. Order directing defendants to appear and show cause why they should not be held in contempt. Okay, so a temporary restraining order was issued. There's good cause to grant the initial relief set forth below. It is ordered that on, I guess it was yesterday's date, that the defendants and their counsel appear at the United States Courthouse, 11A, 515 Rusk, and the court shall conduct a hearing on the contempt motion. A judge and prosecutor in Los Angeles, California, stopped Konnech from winning a multi-million-dollar contempt judgment yesterday in Houston Federal District Court in a defamation suit against True the Vote. A copy of Judge Hoyt's unsigned anticipated court order is in this post. Again, please, everyone, please support Harry, because it's costing him quite a few shekels to get out there and get these court records. It's $50 for one, 70 for another, 80 for another. Please help him to don't let him bear the entire cost. Okay, this is Harry's Patreon. Konnech awards $1 million plus fees in a rigged Houston federal case this morning at 11 a.m. Konnech will be awarded $1 million. Okay. Judge Hoyt will sign this order at 11 a.m. The attached journal entry is in the attachments. It awards Konnech $1 million plus attorney's fees and punitive damages against defendants True the Vote, Catherine Engelbrecht, and Greg Phillips. This story is getting more bizarre by the hour. Please, support Harry. Write to us. Write me an email and tell me, give me some tips on what subjects we need to cover more in depth. I will do my very best to expose the Lionel Nee, his connections to to biolabs around the world, and to artificial intelligence centers around the world. But besides that, give me some ideas. Send me your idea for what topics, which areas I should focus on in my reporting. All right, that's it for tonight. I'll try to do another one on Sunday night. Please look for the email. And let's, again, newsothersmiss.com is one of Harry's sites, and brassballs.blog is the other one. And remember, everyone, keep the faith. If you have to confront family and friends about this election fraud, do it gently, with a smile on your face, and just say, isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that so-and-so has a company and he grew up in China? And isn't it interesting that his two best friends were top biological professors? Make them go, All right, that's it for October 28th. See you on Sunday. Oh, tomorrow we have the George Webb Video Watch Party starting at noon Eastern. Ta-ta for now.